Hello my dear student, welcome to the class. So from today onwards I will be taking your maths class. So today I will start a new chapter, that is chapter number 15. The name of the chapter is probability. You have learned this thing in class 9, class 8 also. You have got this thing then also. I am explaining it once more. So what is probability? It is the likelihood of an event to occur. It is the likelihood of an event to occur. So many events cannot be predicted with total certainty. We can just predict the chance of an event to occur. So probability range from 0 to 1. Probability range from 0 to 1. So you will not get then any number less than 0, neither you will get any number more than 1. So it is the range of the probability from 0 to 1. Okay. So then comes one topic. Okay, let me explain some topics, then I will go to the exercise. So equally likely outcomes. So what are equally likely outcomes? What are not equally likely outcomes? So two terms are there. So if all the outcomes of a sample space have the same chance of occurrence, if all the outcomes of a sample space have the same chance of occurrence, then we call it as equally likely outcome. If doesn't have the same chance of occurrence, then we say it is not equally likely. Okay, for example, you take for equally likely, I am taking a coin. So if I toss a coin, I will get either head or tail. I will get either head or tail. So my possible outcome will be total possible outcome. Total possible outcome, it is for head I may get head also, I may get tail also, to 2. So now if I say you to find the probability of getting head, so favorable outcome, it is only one time head. If I toss a coin for once, then the chance of getting a head is also 1. So favorable outcome, the 1 will be the favorable outcome divided by total possible outcome. If I say you to find the probability of getting a tail when I will toss the coin for once, so the same for tail also, it is 1, and the total possible outcome, it is 2 in this case also. So you see the probability for both, it is same. For first one also it is half, for second one also half, that is chance is equal. So we say it is equally likely outcome. So they are equally likely. Okay, but when we will say that they are not equally likely, so for this one I am taking another example. You just think I have taken a bucket. And I have thrown some balls inside it. 4 balls. One is red, another one is also red, then one blue, another one also. Okay, let me take is red. Okay. So there are 3 red balls in the bucket and 1 blue ball. So if I say you to close your eyes and just pick one ball, so the chance of getting the red ball in this case, it is maximum. If I find the probability of getting a red ball, you see there are 4 balls, that means total possible outcome will be 4. There are 4 balls in the bucket, so total possible outcome will be 4, and chance of getting red balls, the favorable outcome for red, it will be 1, 2, 3. So it will be 3 by 4. And if I say you to find the probability of getting a blue ball, it will be equal to only 1 blue ball is there. That means the favorable outcome will be 1 divided by total possible outcome. So for this case, you see these are different. The chance of getting red ball is more than the chance of getting blue ball. So they are not equally. So we'll say they are not equally likely. They are not equally likely. Okay, so we find the probability by the total number of favorable outcomes divided by the total possible outcome. Favorable outcomes divided by the total possible outcome. So we find the probability of any event by the total number of, we simply divide the total number of favorable outcome. We divide the total number of favorable outcome by the total possible outcome. So this is how we get the probability. Okay, so now you see page number 298 you take out. You see example number 1. So question is, Find the probability of getting a head when a coin is tossed once, and also find the probability of getting a tail. So question is to find the probability of getting a head and probability of getting a tail. So just now while this showing you what is an equally likely event, I have done this one. The total possible outcome, in this case it is 2, and the 2 faces are there in a coin, that is 2, and the probability of getting a head will be total number of possible favorable outcome for head, it is 1. If I toss a coin, the chance of getting a head is 1, so 1 by 2 is the total possible outcome. So it will be total number of favorable outcome for this one, probability of getting a head, total number of favorable outcome will be 1 divided by total possible outcome. Probability of getting a tail, it is also same, 1 by 2. For tail also it is same. Okay, now you see example number 2. A bag contains a red ball, a blue ball and a yellow ball. All the balls being of the same size, the size of the ball are same. Kritika takes out a ball from the bag without looking into it. What is the probability that she takes out a yellow ball or a red ball or a blue one? So there is a bag which contains 3 balls, a red ball, a blue ball and a yellow ball. So question is to find the probability if she simply takes out a ball from the bag, what is the chance of getting a yellow ball, what is the chance of getting a red ball, and what is the chance of getting a blue ball. So we'll solve this one. Okay, let me do it. Okay, so you see it is okay, right? So how total number of balls you get, example number 2 I am doing. Total number of balls, how many? 3. 1 red ball, 1 blue ball and 1 yellow ball. So there are 3 balls in the bag. So question is to find the probability. So first of all you write number of yellow balls. You write for Roman number 1 I am doing number of yellow balls. It is 1. Only 1 yellow ball is there. So probability of yellow ball will be, this is our favorable outcome, number of yellow ball, it is the favorable outcome divided by the total possible outcome. So you write number of yellow balls divided by total number of balls. Number of yellow ball, it is 3. Sorry, there is only 1 yellow ball, and total number of ball, it is 3. This is our favorable outcome, number of yellow balls. This is the favorable outcome divided by the total possible outcome. Total possible outcome is the total number of the balls. So 1 by 3. This is the required answer for first one. So now Roman number 2 will do. Question is to find for the red ball. So same way, the answer will be same in each and every case. You see, for red ball also, if I find for the red ball, so number of red ball, it is also same 1. So probability of red ball will be number of red ball divided by the total number of balls. So it will also be 1 by 3. Roman number 2 will also be 1 by 3. Now Roman number 3, blue ball. So if I do Roman number 3, so in place of red I will write blue. So number of blue ball, it is also 1. So probability of blue ball will be equals to number of blue ball divided by the total number of balls. So 1 by 3 in this case also. And one thing, the sum of the probability of all the elementary event of an experiment is always 1. So in each and every case I have got the probability 1 by 3. So if I add 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 for red ball, for blue ball and for the yellow balls, the probabilities, it is this one. So if I simply add this one, I will get 3. 1 plus 1 plus 1, it will be 3 by 3. So answer is 1. Answer is 1. So the sum of the probabilities, always remember that the sum of the probabilities of the of all the elementary events of an experiment is all the elementary events of an experiment is always 1, always 1. Now question number 3, suppose we throw a die once, so what is the probability of getting a number greater than 4? So if I throw a die, so what is the probability that I will get a number more than 4, greater than 4, and the probability of getting a number less than or equal to 4? Yes, example number 3. So what are the total possible outcomes? First of all, we will find. So question is throwing a die. So we know that in a die there are 6 phases. While playing Ludo, we use the dice. Have you seen? So it has 6 phases. It is like a small cube. It has 6 phases, and it is numbered with 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. 1 dot for one side 1, it is 1 dot is given. For side 2 it is given 2 dot like this. For 3 like this given. 4 like this it is given. So there are 6 phases. If you count, you will see that there are 6 phases. The highest number is the 6. So you write total possible outcome when a dice is thrown. Okay, so total possible outcome when a dice is thrown. How I have got, there are 6 phases. So if you want, you can write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know. So total possible outcome when a dice is thrown is equals to 6. So now first question is to find the probability of getting a number greater than 4. Number greater than 4 are, numbers greater than 4 are 5 and 6, that is only 2 numbers. So favorable outcome will be, therefore you can write total number of favorable outcomes. Total number of favorable outcome is 2. Total number of favorable outcome, it is 2. So question is to find the probability. So you write, therefore probability of number greater than 4, probability of number greater than 4 is equals to favorable outcome divided by total possible outcome. It is 6, 2 by 6. So if I cancel it, it will be 1 by 3, 1 by 3. The next one, you see, next question is, what is the probability of getting a number less than or equal to 4? Less than or equal to 4. So you write number less than or equal, number less than or equal to 4 are 1, 2, 3, 4. So total number of favorable outcome, it is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 numbers, so 4. So probability of question is to find probability of number less than or equal to 4. So probability of number less than or equal to 4 are, probability of number less than or equal to 4 is equals to total number of favorable outcome, it is 4, divided by the total possible outcome, it is 6. So 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6. So answer is 2 by 3. Answer is 2 by 3. Okay. So now one thing you listen. So probability of getting one complementary event is there, that so this one you remember in exercise while doing some maths you will need it, that the probability of any event E plus probability of not E is equals to always 1. Probability of an event E plus probability of not E is equals to 1. Okay, now you see that in case of a probability, if it comes 0, then we say it is impossible to occur or an impossible event. And if the probability is equals to 1, if I find the answer equals to 1 probability of any event, then it is certain, it is a sure event, it is a sure event. If the probability comes out 0, then we say it is impossible to occur or an impossible event. If the probability comes out 1, the value of the probability it is 1, then we say it is certain to occur or it is a sure event. Okay, so now example number 4, you see. Okay, you leave this one. While doing the exercise, I will do this one after doing this exercise, because I have to show something before doing that. Okay, now example number 5, you see. Two players, Sangeeta and Reshma, played a tennis match. It is known that the probability of Sangeeta winning the match is 0.62. The probability of winning the match by Sangeeta is given 0.62. So question is to find the probability of Reshma. That means the remaining part, what is left, it is the chances of Reshma. Two players are there. If we say that for one player the chance is 60%, then of course for the other player it will be 60 minus 100. From the total, if I subtract, then the remaining part it is 40%. That means for the next player it is 40. If I say the chance of winning a match is 20%, that means the losing is the remaining part, that is 80%. So in the same way, here also we will use this formula, probability of the event E plus not E equals to 1. That means simply if I subtract from 1, I will get the remaining part. So it is done nicely, you see in the book. It is given, then let S and R denotes the event that Sangeeta wins the match and Reshma wins the match. So for Sangeeta it is given as S, and for Reshma the event is given as R. So probability of Sangeeta's winning is given that as probability P of S, or you can write P of Sangeeta or write winning of Sangeeta, like this you write. It is given here, which is equals to P of X is given, which is equals to 0.62. That means the remaining part is the chances of the Reshma. So probability of Reshma will be equals to 1 minus probability of Sangeeta. So 1 minus 0.62, which is equals to 0.38. 0.38. So it is the chances, it is the probability of Sangeeta. So now example number 6, you see, Sabita and Hamida are friends. So what is the probability that both will have different birthdays? And the next one is giving that they have the same birthday. Ignore a leap year. So we will not take a leap year, we will take a normal year, which is equals to 365 days. We will not take a leap year. Okay, in that case it is given ignore a leap year. Okay, this one also done nicely. You see in your book, it is written here that out of two friends, so no need to write the first part. You see that if I leave one day for that Hamida, these two friends don't have the same birthday, that means the one day if I have the birthday, and the other day my friend leaving this day, the rest other day have the chances that tomorrow it may be there on the other. The total in a year there are 65 days, 365 days. So leave one day, because it is said that they will not have the same birthday. That means it is sure that one day that it will not match. The rest other days it have the chances. So remaining days are 364 days. So this is our total possible outcome. It is 360. Sorry, this is the favorable outcome. So out of two friends, one girl says Sabita's birthday can be any other day of the year. Now Hamida's birthday can also be any day of the 365 day in the year. So we assume that, okay, so from there you write, so if Hamida's birthday is different from, so from Roman number 1 you can write directly, no need to write the first part. You see, if Hamida's birthday is different from Sabita's, the number of favorable outcome for her birthday will be 364 days. That means leaving one day, the remaining all day have the chances that on that day or any other day it may be her birthday, but remaining that day on which his friend was born. So the favorable outcome, it is 364 days. Favorable outcome, it is 364 days. Then probability will be, we know it is, probability will be equals to this favorable outcome divided by total possible outcome. So how it is written, you write like this, it will be 364 divided by 365. Probability of Hamida's birthday is different from Sabita's birthday is equals to 364 divided by 365. Here 364 is the favorable outcome, 365 is the total possible outcome. The next one, probability of Sabita and Hamida have the same birthday. So if they have the same birthday, that means the 365 day, the chance they have the same birthday, that means on all the 365 days of the year. If they have the same birthday, that means on the every day, in each and every day they have the chance. So here it will be sorry not like this. You just, question is to find the probability. So simply like earlier how we have done, that will simply subtract 1. Question is given that they have the same birthday, sorry I said something wrong, 365 days, and if I take any day, only one day, on that day they have the birthday same, that means favorable outcome will be 1 in this case, because only one day out of this 365 day they have the chance, because if they have the same birthday, then it will be only one day from this whole year, only one day, that is it will be our favorable outcome. So if I do directly, I can do it that like this, the chance of having the same birthday, it will be equals to 1 day. So directly to favorable outcome divided by 1 by 365, it will be our answer. Or we can use that formula, probability of E plus probability of not E equals to 1. So earlier we have found, so it is written probabilities with the end have the same birthday. Sabita and Hamida have the same birthday, which will be equals to 1 minus probability, earlier one, probability of having different birthday. Both have different birthday. 1 minus probability of both having the different birthday, both having the different birthday and both having the not having the different birthday. So probability of E plus probability of not E. So we are using that one. So 1 minus, so earlier we have found the probability that they have different birthday, it was 1 by 364 by 365. So like this also you can do, it is there in the book. So 365, it will be 365 minus 364, which will be equals to 1 by 365. In this case also answer is matching. Okay, now example number 7. There are 40 students in class 10 of the school, of whom 25 are girls, 15 are boys. The class teacher has to select one student as a class representative to make them the captain, or here it is written as representative. Okay, so she writes the name of each student on a separate card, and the card is being identical. Then she puts the card in a bag and stirs them thoroughly. She then draws one card from the bag. So what is the probability that the name written on the card is the name of a girl or a boy? So probability, it is, the condition is like this. So at the time of Teachers Day, we used to play that game. in a small top you have to write the name of this truth or dare. Then you used to put it on this pot. We used to collect the card. If it is there, then we used to perform the dare. If it is truth, then we used to say the truth like this. So same, in a small pot it is taken, or in a small beaker you can take it like this. So the cards are identical and all the names of the students are written, 40 names are written of the 40 students, and it is kept inside this what is written here, inside a bag. So here the given it is inside a bag. Okay, so let us take it is a bag. So inside the bag all this cards are been put and it is stirred nicely, and then randomly a card is taken out. So question is given like this, that what is the probability that the name written on the card is of a girl, and what is the probability that the name written on the card is of a boy. So we have to find the probability for both the case. Okay, so you see in the book it is written very clearly. So there are 40 students and only one card has to be chosen. So you can write total number of students is equals to 40. Then that means the total possible outcome will also be equals to 40. The number of students is equals to the total possible outcome. So you write the first line, total number of student is equals to 40. Therefore the number of possible outcome, the total number of possible outcome is equals to 40. Then you give Roman number 1. Question is to find that the chance of getting the name of a girl. So right, then it is given how many girls are there in the class. It is written in the question 25 are girls. So we'll write like this, that the number of outcomes favorable for a card with the name of a girl, the number of outcomes favorable for a card with the name of a girl is equals to 25, because there are 25 girls in the class. That means out of this 25 I will get the name of a girl. Then therefore probability, the card with the name of a girl, or you can write P of girl. Directly you can write like this, probability of girl is equals to this favorable outcome, it is 25. That means there are 25 girls in the class and total number of student it is 40. So if I cancel with 5 5s are and 5 8s are, that means the answer is 5 by 8, 5 by 8. Then next one you see, the number of outcomes favorable for a card with the name of a boy is equals to 15. So there are 15 boys in the class, so that means the favorable outcome is 15 in this case. So therefore probability of boy will be equals to 15 by 40. So 5 3s are 5 8s are, so answer will be 3 by 8. So if we add 5 by 8 plus 3 by 8, you will get 8 by 8, which is equals to 1. Or directly you can find that the probability of girl and probability of boy we can find easily, 1 minus probability of girl, probability of boy plus probability of not a boy is equals to 1. Not a boy means that means it will be about a girl. So probability of boy directly you can find, it is done here also, you see in the line it is given. So you can do it like this, that a probability of boy plus probability of not a boy equals to 1. Probability of boy plus probability of not a boy, that means it is a girl, it is about a girl, equals to 1. So probability of girl just now we have found, so it will be probability of boy equals to 1 minus probability of girl. So probability of girl just now we have found it is 5 by 8. So I will write 5 by 8. So like this also you can find, it will be 8 minus 5, that means 3 by 8. That means 3 by 8. So same answer here also got 3 by 8. So like this also you can do, and by using this method also you can find it. Okay, now example number 8, you see a box containing 3 blue, 2 white and 4 red marbles. If a marble is drawn at a random from the box, what is the probability that it will be a white or a blue or a red marble? So question is to find the probability that it will be a red or a white or a blue marble. Okay, this one I will do, it is too much lengthy. Example number 8. So total number of balls. Total number of balls, how many? You see there are 3 blue balls, 2 white ball and 4 red ball. That means 3 plus 2 plus 4. 3 plus 2 plus 4, which is equals to 9. Which is equals to 9. That means it is the possible outcome. Then question is to find the probability of getting a white ball. So you write total number of white balls. Total number of white balls, how many? You see in the question 2 white balls, so it is 2. Therefore probability of white ball, probability of a white ball is equals to, this is our favorable outcome, this is the total possible outcome, so it will be 2 by 9. 2 by 9. Then for Roman number 2, it is question is to find the probability of a blue ball. So total number of blue ball, you write total number of blue ball. Total number of blue balls, how many blue ball? You see 3 blue balls, that means 3. So it is our favorable outcome. This is the favorable outcome. So question is to find the probability of a blue ball, which will be equals to, this is our favorable outcome and this is the total possible outcome. So 3 by 9. 3 by 9. 3 is the favorable outcome, this is the total possible outcome. So 3 1s are 3, 3 3s are 9, which is equals to 1 by 3. 1 by 3, if there is a chance to take it into simplest form, then you simply cancel it and convert it into simplest form. Then last one, you see probability of getting a red ball. So same way, how many red balls are there? You see it is 4. Okay, total number of red ball, total number of red ball equals to 4. So probability will be there, a probability of a red ball equals to, it will be 4 by 9. 4 by 9. So for the probability of red ball it is 4 by 9, probability of a white ball it is 2 by 9, and probability of a blue ball it is 1 by 3. So if you add all this, you will get the answer 1. Okay, now question number 9. Harpreet tossed 2 different coins simultaneously. Say one is of 1 rupee and other is of 2 rupee. So what is the probability of getting at least one head? So two coins are tossed at a time. That means a 1 rupee coin is there and another 2 rupee coin is there. So chance of getting head. So if I toss the coin, so you see first coin I have tossed, I may get head. Out of head and tail I have got one head. In the next coin I may get again head. Again I have tossed the coin, so I may get a chance of getting head also and tail. Then again I toss the coin. On the first coin I got the chance, I got a tail, and on the next coin I got a head. Then again I toss the coin. Then so these are the outcomes. These are the outcomes after tossing a coin. I may get 2 head, I may get a head and a tail, I may get a tail and a head, I may get both tails in the coin. So these are the total possible outcome. That means in this case only 4 outcomes are possible. So whether the both coin will come with the head or one with head, another with tail, then the first one with tail, another with head, and or the both coin will come with tail. Okay, so we'll do this one. So you write example number 9. When 2 coins are tossed together, comma total number of comma total number of when two coins are tossed together comma total number of outcome will be equals to 4. So in bracket you can write that is, write it here like this, you may get confused, so you write that is I may get head then tail head tail, or in the both the coin it may be tail. So these are the total possible outcome when two coins are tossed. The total number of outcome, it will be like this. So you write let E be the event of getting, at least E be the event of getting at least one head. Let E be the event of getting at least one head. So I have named the event of getting one head so as E, that directly I can write. So therefore total number of favorable outcome will be total number of favorable outcome, and how many chance you may see. So here also just you can take the chance of getting a head. So here also one head is there, there also one head, in this case also one head, that means 3. So this is our favorable outcome, it is 3. Question is to find that the event of getting at least one head, that means in both the coins one coin should be head. So you see here one head is there, so in both the coin head is there, that means chance of getting head is there. Here also you see one tail one head, that means one head is also there, at least one, that minimum one head should be there. There also one head it is there, but in this case both are tails. So total number of favorable outcome will be equals to 3. So the question is to find. So here I have written E as the event, so I can directly write probability of E, or if you don't write like this, then you write probability of getting at least one head. If you don't want to write this line, then you directly write here probability of getting at least one head, or you can name the event as E, F, like this, anything. So here I have named it. So probability of E will be equals to favorable outcome divided by total possible outcome, favorable outcome divided by total possible outcome. So here favorable outcome it is 3, total possible outcome it is 4. So answer is 3 by 4, answer is 3 by 4. Okay, so next example I will discuss on my next class. So let me begin the exercise. Exercise 15.1. So complete the following statements. So here fill in the blanks are given. You see probability of an event E plus probability of the event not E equals to 1. Earlier also I have shown that probability of an event E plus probability of an event not E equals to is always 1, is always 1. The next one, you see probability of an event that cannot happen is, so I have said when a probability of an event, when the probability comes 0, then we say it is an impossible event, that means it cannot happen. So here the answer will be the probability of an event that cannot happen is 0. Such an event is called impossible event. The next one, probability of an event that is certain to happen is always 1, is always 1, and we say it is as a sure event or certain event, sure event or certain event. Then Roman number 4, the sum of the probabilities of all the elementary events of an experiment is always 1. If I simply take out the sum of all the elementary, don't take 1 or 2, all the elementary, if I just this probabilities of all the elementary events, sum of the probabilities of all the elementary event, that means all that are there, if I just add them up, then I will get the answer 1. The probability of an event is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 1. That means it is the range of the probability. Earlier I have said it ranges between 0 to 1. It will not be less than 0, nor it will be less than this greater than 1. It will be in between 0 and 1. So the probability of an event is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 1. Then question number 2, what is the which of the following experiments have equally likely outcomes? So earlier I have discussed what is equally likely outcome and not equally likely outcome. So question is given, so you have to simply say whether they are equally likely, and then you have to give the reason, you have to explain it. So first one is, a driver attempts to start a car. The car starts or does not start. So chances there that whether the car will start or car will not start. But maximum chance is that the car will not start, because there may be certain condition, maybe they are like, it may be this the car may have broken down, or there may be no fuel. So chance of getting this that it will not start, it is maximum in that case. So you write like this. Okay, let me say, you just simply write that like this, that this statement does not have equally likely outcome, as the car may or may not start depending upon various factors like fuel, etc. There may be other factors, there may be so many factors that there may not be fuel, the car may have broken down, or there may be something in the car that may have misplaced. So many chances are there. So it is not an equally likely event. Okay, the chance is not 50-50 in this case. So you write like this, that this statement does not have equally likely outcome, as the car may or may not start depending upon various factors like fuel. So this much it is enough, you write it, it will be okay. So for Roman number 2, you see, a player attempts to shoot a basketball. So she or he shoots or misses the shot. So the player attempts to shoot a basketball. So what is the chance that she or he will shoot the ball, or she will miss that? So there also it is not 50-50, because it depends on the ability of the player. If the player is not good enough, then the maximum chance is there then that he will miss it. If the player is too much good in basketball, then so easily he can give this one. So there also it is not equally likely, it is different. So you write like this, that this statement does not have equally likely outcome, as the player may shoot or miss the shoot. The player may shoot or miss the shoot. It is not an equally likely. Here the ability of the player is main. That we don't know the player, whether the player is good or bad. If he is a good new player, then so he will miss this one. If the player is perfect in this playing this basketball, then so easily he will give this goal. Then Roman number 3, a trial is made to answer true or false question. So the answer is right or wrong. So here you see, a trial is made and answer is true. Either the answer will be true or it will be false. So if I find, for the probability of getting a true, it will be also half, because there are two sides, it means two chances, two, it is the total possible outcome, and getting a this true, it is 1, so 1/2. For false also it will be 1/2. It is a equally likely event. So you write, this statement has equally likely outcome, as it is known that the situation is either right or wrong. As it is known that the situation is either right or wrong. Then Roman number 4, a baby is born. So it is a boy or a girl. So here also it is same, that whether the baby will be a boy or a girl, whether this baby, there are chances that this baby may be a boy or a girl. Only two chances, that means 50-50. So we can say it has equally likely outcome. So this statement also has equally likely outcome, as it is known that the new born baby can either be a boy or a girl. As it is known that the newborn baby can either be a boy or a girl. So you write this reason, it will be okay. So now question number 3. Why is tossing a coin considered to be a fair way of deciding which team should get the ball at the beginning of the football game? So in any game, in cricket also, we toss the coin before starting the match. So why this tossing a coin is taken as unbiased, or it is a very very good way of considering, or a fair way of deciding which team should which team should bat or which team should decide whether he will bat or he will bowl. That team will bowl. Okay, so you write okay, so let me say, you simply write it. So you like this, when we toss a coin, the possible outcomes are only two, that is head and tail. When we toss a coin, the possible outcomes are only two, that is head and tail, which are equally likely outcomes, Therefore, the result of an individual toss is completely unpredictable. Therefore, the result of an individual toss is completely unpredictable. So you write this one, it will be okay. Again I am saying, when we toss a coin, the possible outcomes are only head or tail, whether it will be a head or it will be a tail. So it is unpredictable that when I will toss the coin, it may come head or it may tail. So it is taken as unbiased one, or a fair way of this starting any match, or just taking the side which will choose the bat or ball. So here it is given about a football game, so same thing. So when we choose a coin, the possible outcomes are only two, that is head and a tail, which are equally likely outcomes, Therefore, the result of an individual toss is completely unpredictable. Now question number 4, you see, which of these following cannot be the probability of an event? So there are some options are given, so you see it very carefully. So first one, it is 2 by 3. Yes, it can be possible. It is less than 1 but greater than 0. Next one, B, minus 1.5. We know the interval, it is 0 to 1. Minus means it is less than 0, which is not possible. So B is the answer. Minus 1.5. The reason is because it cannot be less than 0. The next one, 15%, yes, it is also a chance. Then 0.7, it is also greater than 0. It is also correct, less than 1. Only the answer is option number B, that is minus 1.5. Okay, now you see question number 5. If P of E is given, which is equals to 0.05, so what is the probability of not E? So we know the formula, probability of E plus probability of not E is equals to 1. So question is to find the probability of not E. So we will use that formula and we will find it. Given probability of E equals to, E it is given 0.05. So we know probability of E plus probability of not E equals to 1. Probability of E, it is given here 0.05 plus probability of not E equals to 1. Implies probability of not E will be equals to 1 minus 0.05, which will be equals to 0.95. Simple, I have used this formula, probability of E plus probability of not E equals to 1. So here probability of E is equals to 0.05 plus probability of not E. Question is to find this one. So simply I have changed the sign. If I transpose it from this side to that side, it will be minus. So 1 minus 0.05, which is equals to 0.95. Okay, now question number 6. A bag contains lemon flavored candies only. So in the bag only lemon flavored candies are there. So Melanie takes out one candy without looking into the bag. So what is the probability that she takes out, number 1, an orange flavored candy, and number 2, a lemon flavored candy? Question number 6. Question number 6. Okay, see Roman number 1. Question is to find an this orange flavor candy. So since it is given in the question that in the bag only lemon flavored candies are there, that means there are no orange flavor candies. That means it is 0. So in this case probability will be 0. Okay, let me write. We know that the bag only contains lemon flavored candy. So it is plural. So the number of orange flavor candy will be equals to 0. So the number of orange flavor candy is equals to 0. So probability will be equals to probability of orange flavored candies. Probability of orange flavored candy equals to 0 by 0 is the total possible outcomes, and here the only one type of candies are there. That means 1 it is the total outcome and 0 is here the favorable outcome. Only one type of candies are there. That means the possible outcome will be equals to 1 and 0 is the favorable outcome. Only 0 candies are there. That means 0 by 1 which is equals to 0. That means it is an impossible event. So now Roman number 2 is to find the probability of a lemon flavored candy. So all the candies are of lemon flavor. That means it is a sure event. If I simply take my hand inside the bag, then I will get a lemon flavor candy because all the candies are of lemon flavor. So it is a sure event. That means in that case the probability will be equals to 1. Right, as there are only lemon flavored, there are only lemon flavored candies. So probability of lemon flavored candy will be equals to probability of lemon flavored candy will be equals to 1. Okay, let me write it like this. 1 by 1 equals to 1. So 1 is the favorable outcome divided by total possible outcome. It is also 1. So directly you can write 1 or you can write 1 by 1 equals to 1. It's up to you. Now question number 7. It is given that a group of 3 children, the probability of 2 children not having the same birthday is given 0.092. So in a group of 3 children, the probability of not having the same birthday of 2 students is given 0.092. So what is the probability that the 2 students may have the same birthday? So we'll use that formula, probability of E plus not E equals to 1, and we'll directly find the value. So question number 7, you write given probability that 2 students are not having same birthday. Probability that 2 students are not having same birthday. Probability that two students are not having same birthday, so we'll represent this one as probability of E bar, E complement. So we'll give it like this, not E, rather than writing not E, we'll write it as E complement or E bar, you can. So probability that two students are not having same birthday equals to this one, which is equals to 0.992. 0.992 it is given. Yes, so you write, question is to find the probability of having the same birthday. Probability that two students having same probability that two students are having same birthday, that is P of E. Directly I am writing, okay, rather than writing P of E plus P of E complement equals to 1, directly I am writing P of E equals to 1 minus P of E complement. By changing the side I can write it like this, so directly I am writing it here, it will be 1 minus P of E complement, 1 minus P of E complement, 1 minus 0.992. So if I simply subtract it from 1, I will get 0.008. 0.008. Now question number 8. A ball contains 3 red ball, 5 black ball. So a ball is drawn at a random from a bag. What is the probability that the ball drawn is a red one or a not red? Red or not red? So in this case also, first of all I will find the probability of red ball, then I will find the probability of not red. We know the formula, it is P of E plus P of not E equals to 1. Total number of balls, you write. Total number of balls, it is 3 red ball and 5 black ball. That means 5, 6, 7, 8. Total number of balls equals to 8. So now the question is to find the probability of red ball. So you write total number of red balls equals to 3. So therefore probability of red ball equals to, probability of a red ball equals to, this is our favorable outcome, this is the total possible outcome, so favorable outcome divided by total possible outcome. So this is the required answer. The next one is to find for not red. We know probability of a red ball plus probability of not red ball will be equals to 1. Probability of a red ball plus probability of not red ball equals to 1. So probability of red ball is equals to 3 by 8 plus probability of not red ball equals to 1. Probability of not red ball equals to 1 minus 3 by 8, which will be equals to, if I take the LCM, 8 minus 3, which will be equals to 5 by 8. So this is the required answer. Probability of not red ball equals to 1 minus 3 by 8, 8 minus 3, which is equals to 5 by 8. So this is the required answer. Okay, now question number 9. You see a box containing 5 red marbles, 8 white marbles and 4 green marbles. So one marble is taken out of the box at random. So suddenly if I randomly take out a ball take out a marble from the box. So what is the probability that the marble taken out will be a red or a white or not green? So same like this one. First of all, I will find the total number of marbles, which will be our total possible outcome. So number 9, total number of marbles equals to, marbles or balls. A box contains 5 red marbles. Yes, total number of marbles equals to, total number of marbles equals to 5 plus 8 plus 4. 5 plus 8 plus 4. 17. So total number of marbles is equals to 17. So now one by one we'll find. So first one is for red marbles. So you write total number of red marbles equals to total number of red marbles, how many? 5 red marbles, that means is equals to 5. So this is our possible outcome. This is the this is our possible outcome. This is the favorable outcome. So simply I will divide the favorable outcome, I will divide it by with this one, total possible outcome. Therefore probability of probability of a red marble will be equals to 5 by 17. Sorry, 5. So total number of red marbles is equals to 5. Probability of a red marble is equals to 5 by 17. The next one, total number of this white. So white will be equals to, right, total number of white balls. Total number of white balls is equals to 8. Sorry, balls, not marble. Total number of white marble is equals to 8. So therefore probability of a white marble is equals to, probability of a white marble is equals to 8 by 17. 8 by 17. So now last one, you see not green. So total number of green balls, total number of green balls is equals to 4. Total number of green ball equals to 4. That means probability of a green ball will be 4 by 17. Therefore probability of not green will be, question is to find not green, sorry, ball, not marble. Marble, you write, not green marble equals to 1 minus probability of a green so 1 minus 4 by 17, which will be equals to 17 minus 4, 13 by 17. So probability of green, not green marble is equals to 1 minus probability of green marble, which is equals to 1 minus 4 by 7. 1 minus 4 by 17. So it will be 17 minus 4 by 7, that means 13 by 17. So now question number 10. A piggy bank contains 150 paisa coins, 51 rupees 1 coins, 20 rupees 2 coins and 10 rupees 5 coins. So if it is equally likely that one of the coin will fall out when the bank is turned up, when the bank is turned upside down, that means the piggy bank. So what is the probability that the coin one will be that the coin will be a 50 paisa coin or will not be a rupees 5 coin? Will be a 50 paisa coin. Question number 10. Total number of coins equals to. So you see how many coins are there? 150 paisa coins, 100 plus, then 50 rupees 1 coins, 50 plus, then 20 rupees 2 coins, 20 rupees 2 coins and 10 rupees 5 coins. So if I add this, it will be 180. So total number of coin is equals to 180. That means it is our total possible outcome. So now question Roman number 1 is to find. So what is the probability that it will be a 50 paisa coin? So total number of 50 paisa coin. How many coins are there of 50 paise? It is 100. It is 100. That means the probability of 50 paisa coin equals to, this is the favorable outcome, 100 by total possible outcome 180. 0 0 cancel and then I can cancel with 2 5s are and 2 9s are, that means 5 by 9. 5 by 9, 2 5s are and 2 9s are 18. So it is 5 by 9. So probability of a 50 paisa coin is equals to 5 by 9. Okay, the next one you see, probability of that it will not be a rupees 5 coin. So for doing that one, first of all I will find the probability of rupees 5 coin, then I know the formula how to find that it will not be a rupees 5 coin. Simply I will subtract it from 1. So you write for Roman number 2, total number of rupees 5 coins is equals to rupees 5 coins how many? 10. So probability of rupees 5 coin is equals to 10 by 180. 0 0 cancel, that means 1 by 18. So this is the probability. So question is to find the probability of not a rupees 5 coin. Therefore probability of not rupees 5 coin. So probability of not rupees 5 coin will be equals to 1 minus 1 by 18. 1 minus 1 by 18, or you can write here first of all 1 minus probability of rupees 5 coin. 1 minus probability of rupees 5 coin. So 1 minus rupees 5 coin, it is 1 by 18, which will be equals to 18 minus 1, that means 17 by 18. 17 by 18. So this is the required answer of not a rupees 5 coin is 17 by 18. Okay, now question number 11. Gopi buys a fish from a ship for his aquarium. The shopkeeper takes out one fish at random from the tank containing 5 male fish and 8 female fish. So in the tank there were 5 male fish and 8 female fish. So a shopkeeper takes out one from that aquarium. So what is the probability that the fish taken out is a male fish? Fish taken out is a male fish. So okay, first of all let me do it. total number of fishes in the tank. How many fishes are there? There are 5 male fish and 8 female fish. That means 5 plus 8, which is equal to 13. So total number of fishes in the tank equals to 13. That means it is our this total possible outcome. It is the total possible outcome. This one is the total possible outcome. So now favorable outcome question is to find for the number of male fish. So what is the probability that the fish taken out is a male fish? So we will find first of all what is the total number of male fish. Total number of male fish is equals to total number of male fish. How many male fishes are there? You see it is 5. So total number of male fish is equals to 5. So therefore probability of a male fish will be equals to 5 by 13. This is our favorable outcome and this is the total possible outcome. So 5 by 13, 5 by 13. Total number of male fish is equals to 5. Total number of fishes in the tank, it is 13. So probability of a male fish will be favorable outcome divided by the total possible outcome. Favorable outcome divided by the total possible outcome. Now question number 12. A game of chance consists of spinning a arrow, so which comes to rest pointing at one of the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 numbers of there starting from 1 up to 8, and these are equally likely outcomes. So what is the probability that the point at, so if I simply turn the spinner, then what is the probability that the point will tick at this 8 or an odd number or a number greater than 2 or a number less than 9. So one by one will do. So total number of possible outcome, it is 8. Total number of possible outcome, it is 8. That means there are 8 numbers. That's why I have written 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So first one by one I will do now. Total number of this question is that the pointing at 8, that if I turn the spinner, then what is the chance that it will point at 8? So first of all I have to find, so there is only 8 one time it is there, that means the favorable event is 1. Total number of favorable event, that is 8 equals to 1. 8 is given only one time, that means if I turn the spinner, that only one chance is there, that means if I turn the spinner, then only 1 8 is there, that means the chance of getting a 8 is also one time. So total number of favorable event is 1. Total number of favorable event is 1. So probability of this event, I will find probability of event, it is pointing at 8 is equals to, this is our favorable outcome 1 divided by total possible outcome, it is 8. So 1 by 8, you can write here number of favorable outcomes divided by the total possible outcome. Favorable outcome, it is 1 divided by total possible outcome, it is 8. The next one, you see total number of this odd numbers. So I have to find first of all total number of odd numbers. Total number of odd numbers, how many odd numbers are there? 1, then 3, then 5, and then 7, that means 4. So in bracket you write 1, 3, 5 and 7. So these are the odd numbers. So total number of odd number equals to 4, that is 1, 3, 5 and 17. Therefore P of pointing an odd number equals to, this is the favorable outcome, 4 divided by total possible outcome, it is 8. So 4 by 8 I can cancel it, so 1 by 2 will be the answer. Total number of odd number is equals to 4, 1, 3, 5 and 7. These are the odd numbers. So pointing at an odd number is equals to 4 by 8. If I cancel it, then it will be 1 by 2. The next one, number greater than 2. So total number greater than total number greater than 2 is equals to, after 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means 6 numbers are there. In bracket you can write 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. That is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So this is our favorable outcome, this is the total possible outcome. So therefore probability of pointing a number greater than 2 is equals to 6 by 8, which I can cancel. 2 3s are 2 4s are, so 3 by 4 is the answer. Then Roman number 4, you see total a number less than 9. So all the numbers, it is a maximum number is up to 8. So it means all the numbers are less than 9. So you write total number less than 9 is equals to 8. All the numbers, all the 8 numbers are equals to or less than 8. In bracket if you want you can write that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Total number less than 9 is equals to 8. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. That means all the 8 numbers are less than 9. So probability of pointing a number less than, probability of pointing a number less than 9 is equals to 8 by 8, which is equals to 1, which is equals to 1. So it is a shear event. That means it is a 100% chances that all the numbers that if I spin the spinner, then it will come a number less than 9. So it is a shear event. Okay, now question number 13. A die is thrown once, so find the probability of getting a prime number. So if I throw a die, what are the chances, that means what is the probability that I will get a prime number? The next one, a number lying between 2 and 6, and number 3 an odd number. Question number 13. Okay, so in a dice there are 6 faces. So total possible outcome when a die is thrown is equals to 6. Total possible outcome when a dice is thrown equals to 6. So there are 6 phases. So if you want you can write, that is write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So there are 6 phases in a dice. Okay, so question is to find a prime number. So how many prime numbers are there out of this? So 2, 3, 5. So there are 3 prime numbers. So you write total number of prime numbers. Two, 3 and 5. That means favorable outcome is equals to 3. Therefore total favorable outcome is equals to 3. Total number of favorable outcome is equals to 3. Total number of favorable outcome is equals to 3. So now I can find the probability of a prime number. Probability of a prime number will be equals to, this is our favorable outcome divided by the total possible outcome. So 3 by 6, which is equals to half. So total number of favorable outcome, you can write it here, that total number of favorable outcome divided by the total possible outcome, which is equals to 3 by 6. If I cancel it, it will be 1 by 2. Then Roman number 2, an odd number. So how many odd numbers are there? Odd not, sorry. A number lying between 2 and 6. So number lying between 2 and 6 is 2, 4 and 5. 2, 4 and 5. Number lying between 2 and 6 are, number lying between 2 and 6 are 3, 4 and 5. That means the favorable outcome is equals to 3. How many numbers? 1, 2, 3. So probability of number lying between 2 and 6 is equals to favorable outcome divided by the total possible outcome. That means 3 by 6. If I cancel it, 3 ones are 3, 3 twos are 6. That means answer will be 1 by 2. Answer will be 1 by 2. The next one, an odd number. An odd number. So in this odd numbers are 1, 3, 5. These are the 3 odd numbers. Total odd numbers are 1, 3 and 5. So total number of favorable outcome will be equals to 1, 2, 3. So probability of an odd number, will be equals to 3 by 6. If I cancel it, 3 ones are 3, 3 twos are 6, which is equals to 1 by 2. So odd numbers are 1, 3 and 5. So total number of favorable outcome is equals to 3. So probability of an odd number is equals to favorable outcome divided by total possible outcome. Favorable outcome, it is 3, divided by total possible outcome, it is 6. So 3 by 6, if I cancel it, I will get the answer 1 by 2. Okay, now question number 14. So before doing 14, I will draw a small chart. You see it and you write it in your copy. It will be helpful for doing the sums related to cards. So in a pack, in a normal pack there are 52 cards. In a pack there are 52 cards. You write it and memorize it, it will be helpful. So in a pack there are 52 cards. These cards are divided into red card and black cards. So red 26 and black you will find 26. Red also 26, black also 26. This red card is again divided into two parts, heart and diamond. So heart you will find 13 cards and diamond also 13 cards. And for black you will find club and spade. Black card is divided into club and spade. So club you will find 13 cards, spade also 13 cards. So a pack of 52 cards is divided into red card and black cards. So in red card you will find two types of card. One is heart, another one is the diamond, which will be equally divided. So 13 you will find, and in black you will find club and spade. And in each and every case, in heart you will find three face cards. So this one extra, face cards. So face cards mean you will find king, queen and jack. King card, queen card and jack. So in each and every case you will find, in heart also you will find a king, a queen and a jack. In diamond also same, king, queen and a jack. In club also you will find, in spade also you will find. So in each and every case you will find three face cards, okay, in heart, in diamond, in club and in spade. So these are called face cards, king, queen and jack. And in each in each deck you will find four aces in each deck of 52 cards. So you memorize this one and you write it down. So whenever you will get this question related to cards, you can solve easily if you know how many types of cards are there and what are they. So now we'll do the sum related to this one, and one example also left. So first of all let me do this two questions, question number 14 and 15. So question number 14. So you see, question is like this, that one card is drawn from a well shuffled deck of 52 cards. So in a deck there were 52 cards, one card is taken out. So question is to find the probability that a king of red color, the card is a king of red color. That means in red color you will find two kings, one in the heart, another one in the diamond. So that means our favorable outcome will be 2 and the possible outcome will be the deck, which is of 52 cards. So you write total number of possible outcome, total number of possible outcome is equals to 52. There are 52 cards in a deck, that means the total number of possible outcome is equals to 52. So Roman number 1, question is to find a king of red colors. So write total number of king of red color is equals to 2. How to? In red color heart and diamond is there, so in diamond also you will find one king of red color, and in heart also you will find. That means the 2 card is there. The favorable outcome it is 2 and total possible outcome it is 52. So you write therefore probability of getting a king of red color is equals to 2 by 52. 2 by 52, that means 2 ones are 2 and 26. So 1 by 26 is the answer. So probability of getting a king of red color is equals to 2 by 52, that means 1 by 26. The next one, a face card. So earlier I have said in each and every this cards, types of card, you will find 3 face cards, one king, another queen and one jack. So you will find in heart one, this 3 face cards are there, in diamond 3 face cards are there, in club 3 face cards are there, in spade also 3 face card. That means 3 4s are 12 face card you will find. So total number of face card is equals to total number of face cards is equals to 12. In each card there are 3, so in 3 4s are 12. So total number of face card is equals to 12. So probability of getting a face card this is our favorable outcome, 12 divided by 52. 12 divided by 52. So it is 3 by 13. The probability is 3 by 13. Then next one you see, a red face card. A red face card. So total number of red face cards. So in face cards you will there are 3 types of card, and in red there are 2 types of, again the red card is divided into 2 types, that is heart and diamond. So in heart you will find 3 face cards, in diamond you will find 3 face card, that means 3 plus 3 it is 6. So total number of red face card is equals to 6. So Roman number 3, total number of red face cards is equals to 6. So probability of getting a red face card is equals to 6 by 52. 6 by 52. So 2 3s are and 2 26 are, that means 3 by 26. 3 by 26 is the probability. The next one, a jack of hearts. A jack of hearts. So in heart you will find only one jack. In each and every case there are 3. In each and every set there are 3 face cards. So in heart you will find only one jack. So total number of jack of heart is equals to 1. Total number of jack of heart is equals to 1. So probability of getting a jack of heart is equals to, this is our favorable outcome divided by total possible outcome. So answer is 1 by 52. Then Roman number 5, a spade. So there are 13 spade cards. Earlier I have shown there are 13 spade cards. So that is our favorable outcome will be 13, and total possible outcome will be equals to 52. So 13 by 52, total number of spade cards. Now Roman number 5. Total number of spade cards is equals to 13. Probability of getting a spade card. Probability of getting a spade card is equals to 13 by 52. 13 by 52. So you can cancel it with 13. 13 ones are, 13 fours are, that means 1 by 4. 13 fours are. Yes, the probability of getting a spade card is equals to, there are 13 spade cards, that means the favorable outcome is equals to 13, and probability of getting a spade card is equals to 13 by 52. Then Roman number 6, a queen of diamonds. So only one queen is there in diamonds, so it will be 1. So total number of queen of diamonds total number of queen of total number of queen of diamond is equals to the probability of getting a queen of diamond is equals to 1 by 52. Probability of getting a queen of diamond is equals to 1 by 52. Then question number 15. So you see the question is given like this, that 5 cards, the 10 jack, the 10, so 5 cards are there, one the 10, another one jack, another one queen, another one king, and ace of diamonds. So there are 5 cards are there, 10, then jack, then queen, then king, and ace of diamonds. So are well shuffled and they are face downward. So in this case there are only 5 cards. That means the total possible outcome will be 5 in this case, not 52. It will be 5. So one card is then picked up at random. So what is the probability that the card is a queen? So question is to find the probability that the card is a queen. Total number of cards is equals to 5. That means total number therefore total number of possible outcome is equals to 5 in this case. Total number of possible outcome is equals to 5 in this case. So number 1, the question is to find the number of queens. So how many queens are there? Only 1 in these 5 cards. So number of queens is equals to 1. So probability, therefore probability of a queen is equals to probability of, sorry, right, picking a queen, be good, probability of picking a queen is equals to 1 by 5. This is our favorable outcome, this is the total possible outcome. So we know how to find the probability. It is to simply divide this favorable outcome, we have to divide it by the total possible outcome. So 1 by 5 is the answer. The next one you see, if the queen is drawn and put aside, so if I simply take the queen and keep it aside, so what is the probability that the second card picked up is an ace, or 2 questions are there, that an ace or a queen. So if I remove the queen card, then how many cards left? 4 left. (15) right, if the queen is drawn and put aside, if the queen is drawn and put aside, the total number of cards left, the total number of cards left is equals to, total number of cards left is equals to how many? So there are 5 cards and 1 I have taken out, 5 minus 1, that means 4. So total number of cards left is equals to 4. If I simply take out the queen and keep it aside, then how many cards left? 4 cards left. 5 minus 1, which is equals to 4. So now again given Roman 1, so Roman number 2, question number A. So question is to find the probability of an ace card. So how many ace cards are there in this pack? Total number of ace. Only 1 card is there with ace. So total number of ace card is equals to 1. So therefore probability of picking an ace is equals to 1 by 4. So here 1 is the favorable outcome, not 5. Don't take 5, because for this case the total possible outcome is 4. Because the queen card I have kept aside, so only 4 cards left. So this is the total possible outcome. This is our favorable outcome. So 1 by 4, 1 by 4. And for B you see total number of queens. So if I remove the queen from this set of 5 cards, then only 4 cards left, and in that case queen is not there. That means So total number of queen will be 0. So in these 4 cards, since I have removed the queen and I kept it aside, so only 4 cards left. So out of these 4, there is no card named queen. So total number of queen is equals to 0. So therefore probability of picking a queen is equals to 0 by 4, which is equals to 0. So it is an impossible event. Okay, now one question I have left earlier. Example number which one? Yes, example number 4, you see page number 301. So one card is die from a drawn from a well shuffled deck of 52 cards. Calculate the probability that the card will be an ace card. So what I have said, that there are 4 ace cards in a deck. So you see there are 4 ace cards written here also. I have earlier also I have also shown in this chart that there are 4 ace cards in a deck. That means the favorable outcome is 4 and total possible outcome is 52, because there are total 52 cards in a deck, out of which only 4 cards are deck. So probability will be 4 by 52, which is equals to 1 by 13. And next one is not an ace card. So we know how to find not an ace card. One method it is given here, and by other method also we know that if I simply subtract from the probability of deck cards from this 1, if I subtract the probability of deck card from the 1, then I will get the probability of not a deck card. Okay, so this is the end of today's class. So if you find any difficulties in solving this, in my next class I will continue from question number 16. So if you find any difficulty, you can call me at night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Thank you.